Right now on Fox 43 Featured, there are new union efforts as hospital workers in Lancaster County work to unionize, the support from the community, and why not every worker is on board. Plus, Harrisburg has set $8 million for affordable housing programs, information on leaders' efforts to expand options throughout the city. And you may have seen something odd in the sky on Tuesday night, but experts say there's no need to panic. What caused the mysterious swirl? Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Alex Colley. For the next half hour, we'll break down some of our top stories from the week. Tensions were high in Lancaster on Wednesday night after Penn Medicine officials called the police on people protesting at Lancaster Behavioral Health Hospital. They wanted to shine a light on working conditions and support unionization. Fox 43's Malena Brown was there and shares the perspectives from both pro and anti-union sides.
Dozens of people gathered outside the Lancaster Behavioral Health Hospital in Lancaster to rally for workers wanting to join a local union chapter.
We're out here showing that the community cares about our nurses and want to see the company do the right thing and have an election so people can have their voices heard.
The public event was set up by State Rep Izzy Smith-Waddell, sharing he was there to support his constituents.
There are both federal and state laws which uphold the right of workers to form a union in a workplace like this. It is quite literally my job to defend that right.
Among the people demonstrating, healthcare workers from the hospital walked out the doors and onto the sidewalk to join those already rallying. One behavioral health specialist shared her frustration with the corporate execs.
One of the biggest issues we face is unsafe conditions. We know we work with some really intensive patients, but they just make the environment there really, really bad.
But not every person who works at LBHH is in favor of a union environment.
No matter how you look at it, if the union steps in tomorrow, it's going to be a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years before there's even a contract. So my pay raise stops, our incentives stop.
Healthcare workers on both sides share they just want to provide the best care for their patients. And as the sun went down, the police lights came on as Penn Medicine officials called Lancaster police on the union supporters. What are the police now about to do?
They're probably going to ask them to get off the public easement. Again, public easement. So they asked me to have them removed, and I said, you guys have to do what you have to do. So.
From there, it was back and forth conversation between Lancaster police, Penn Medicine officials, and union ralliers until everyone left at exactly 8:30, the scheduled ending time. What was kind of the final conclusion of the people protesting on the other side of the street? Were they allowed to be there, not allowed to be there?
We're still working that out.
Malena Brown, Fox 43 News.
Fox 43 reached out to Lancaster Behavioral Health Hospital multiple times, but as of today, we have not heard back. The Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission has scheduled 4 hearings for the end of the month to receive feedback on a proposed rate increase request that the York Water Company made in May. Under the proposal, the company says that customers would pay an additional $14 a month for water and nearly $36 more a month for wastewater services. The in-person meetings will take place on August 26th, and the phone hearings will be on August 27th. We have more information right now on fox43.com. The Veolia Water Company says it will hold a series of public meetings for its customers after recent water main breaks. Those are expected to happen sometime next month. The water company and state lawmakers also recently had a meeting over the breaks. Customers in some Dauphin County communities say they have had dirty water since June. Veolia is offering credit to customers who have been affected. Harrisburg City Treasurer Dan Miller says he is once again entering the mayoral race after accepting the Republican nomination. Miller lost the May Democratic primary to incumbent Mayor Wanda Williams by 83 votes. Despite losing the Democratic nomination, Miller was able to secure the Republican nomination with more than 100 write-in votes. Miller criticized Mayor Williams for being a do-nothing politician and is calling on Harrisburg voters to unite behind his campaign.
Harrisburg voted for change. 65% of the people in the Democratic primary voted for change. because we have an administration that just can't work with others.
In a statement to Fox 43, Mayor Williams also criticized Miller for doing nothing for the city of Harrisburg and added that the voters will decide on November 4th. The city of Harrisburg is launching a new $8 million fund to expand affordable housing units. Fox 43's Matt Kleinitz details how the funds hope to address the city's housing crisis.
Harrisburg officials hope to cut the ribbon on more affordable homes with a new one-time fund.
This is not just about bricks and mortar. It is about creating communities.
On Monday, the city of Harrisburg announced the launch of the new Affordable Housing Development Fund. The fund will give more than $8 million to developers to build or expand affordable housing options throughout Harrisburg. Mayor Wanda Williams says the investment will give more families a lifeline to stable housing.
We are making it clear we will not stop until every resident has a fair shot at a safe, affordable place to call their home.
There's been a lot of projects that are in the planning stages, so I think it makes a tremendous dent.
Business Administrator Sam Solkowski says the applications will only be available to developers who previously built affordable homes in the city. He adds that projects will be selected by an independent board appointed by Mayor Williams.
How much they get depends on the size of the project they're doing. Someone who's doing 5 units is going to require a smaller amount of money than someone who's doing 15 units or 20 units.
Mayor Williams hopes that developers will step forward to help more families call Harrisburg their home.
We have watched entire neighborhoods regain hope when new homes rise.
City officials say the project applications are due by September 5th. Matt Kleinitz, Fox 43 News.
The New York State Fair has announced its attendance numbers for 2025. The fair says nearly 460,000 people made their way to the fairgrounds for the 10-day event. The fair adds that its concert lineup, 260th anniversary promotional schedule, and great weather were all factors for the strong attendance. Next year, the fair will run from July 24th to August 2nd. Coffee lovers, there is now another place for you to get your caffeine fix in York County. About 2 weeks ago, the locally owned Britain Coffee Company opened its 4th location in South Central PA. The shop is in Spring Garden Township and offers a wide variety of coffee, donuts, breakfast sandwiches, and more.
It was a wild couple weeks here. York's been amazing to us, and we're just really grateful that we're still open and still running.
This month is Cookie Month, so they have all sorts of cookie-themed coffee and donuts. We have more details about the business on fox43.com. Some people across South Central PA had their eyes on the night sky to see a meteor shower on Tuesday night, but may have spotted a strange twirl of light instead. Fox 43's Natalie Caranda spoke with locals about the unusual-looking sight.
It was a glowing swirl, slowly fading across the sky, leaving many in York County wondering what they were seeing Tuesday night.
It did look like a UFO, but it did. It definitely did.
We're being invaded by aliens.
Turns out it wasn't aliens, but it was something out of this world. Todd Ullery, the director of the York Learning Center Planetarium, explains what it was.
People had an opportunity to see a rocket launch that dumped fuel. And when this happened, the fuel glowed up in the sky and it made a swirling pattern because the rocket was rotating. The rotation of the rocket helps it launch the satellites in a specific location.
Liftoff.
2 rockets launched Tuesday evening, one from Cape Canaveral and the other from French Guiana. While both were visible from parts of the East Coast, experts say the swirling pattern seen over Pennsylvania was most likely caused by the Ariane 6 rocket that was launched by the European Space Agency.
I saw that there was something spotted in the sky that kind of gave off that white light, almost looks like a square, but like spiraling.
It was very bright in the sky.
The launch's visibility had everything to do with its trajectory. A polar orbit that took it northward right over PA.
That was the important part here. We saw it in our area because it's a polar orbit.
With more satellites going up every month, Ullery says this kind of spectacle might become more common. So next time you see something strange in the sky, it might not be a UFO, but it might just be something worth looking up. Natalie Caranda, Fox 43 News.
It's a time to rev to remember as bikers roll out on a motorcycle ride to honor the lives lost on 9/11. Why they continue to make sure that people never forget. Hundreds of motorcyclists started a journey to Shanksville, Somerset County on Thursday for the annual ride to honor those who died on 9/11. Fox 43's Matt Kleinden spoke with bikers about the memorial ride as they set off from Adams County.
Bikers are revving their engines to prepare to honor those who lost their lives during the September 11th attacks.
For people our generation, this is our Pearl Harbor. And that kind of puts it into perspective.
On Thursday, hundreds of people set off from the Battlefield Harley-Davidson in Gettysburg to take part in the annual America's 9/11 Ride. The ride helps raise money for scholarships for children of first responders and remembers the nearly 3,000 people who died that day. Organizers say the memorial ride will begin in Shanksville in Somerset County and make stops in Washington, D.C. and New York.
The people that were directly affected come out, they welcome us, and it's just crazy to see the amount of support that the locals give the foundation.
It's very emotional. It's hard to do with a dry eye, so to speak.
Holly Bell, who was watching the send-off with her kids, says she remembers the fear she felt on 9/11, adding the ride plays an important role of keeping the memory of that day alive.
I think I was in 5th grade when that happened, so to grow up and have that, the anniversary year after year, it just kind of takes you back.
With each mile they drive, the riders are doing what they can to remember the men and women who were lost that day.
A lot of people have died from it, and again, unfortunately still are, and we just can't let anybody forget about it.
Matt Kleinden's Fox 43 News.
A caregiver from York County receives national recognition. Tammy Tome was given Visiting Angels National Caregiver of the Year Award. Tammy has been a caregiver for 25 years and joined the group in 2023. The company has 600 locations throughout the U.S. offering home care through personal assistance or companionship. Visiting Angels says some of Tammy's clients have described her as the wind behind their backs, while Tammy says she's just happy to help.
Everybody needs help sometime in their life, and I'm glad that I can be there to help them.
As Visiting Angels Caregiver of the Year, Tammy gets a $10,000 check. The company's York office, where Tammy works, gets a $5,000 bonus. They call him the Big Amish, and he is fresh off one of the best hitting performances ever. As Lancaster's Nick Kurtz hunts down a Rookie of the Year award, we catch up with him as the Athletics visit Camden Yards. A Lancaster native and Athletics first baseman Nick Kurtz is getting a lot of attention during his debut year in the MLB. Fox 43's Lauren Bradford caught up with Kurtz on his journey to the big leagues and how he represents Central PA every time he steps on the diamond.
Here's the pitch. Nick Kurtz destroys another baseball. Home run hero here in Sacramento.
Nick Kurtz has made quite the name for himself since the Athletics called him up to the big leagues on April 23rd.
When our AAA manager called me, I didn't really know how to react. It was one of those feelings that you'll never forget. Like, it's just everything you've ever done in your life kind of has come to that one moment, and you kind of like finally did it.
Every athlete has an adjustment period when making the major league jump. Kurtz's didn't last long.
Nick Kurtz does it again! Are you kidding me? This guy's on fire!
The first month I was up, it definitely was different, and I kind of had to make some adjustments. And then kind of as time went on, I got more comfortable and kind of started figuring out what I needed to change at the plate. And ever since I kind of did that, that's when things started going pretty well for me.
So well that on July 25th, he had one of the best games ever at the plate, going 6 for 6 with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs.
Swing and a drive, deep to left. He's done it 4 times.
It's one of those things where I still look back and it's like I can't believe I kind of did that. That's not something you even really think about doing. It's just you kind of just try to put good at-bats and put them together, but to do that in one game is pretty unbelievable. So I'm just grateful that it happened, grateful that I was able to do it, and happy to have family there.
Having his family in the crowd makes moments extra special for Kurtz, who doesn't get to see them as often now that they're on opposite coasts.
They don't really get a chance to come out and see us at home, so this is, as good as it gets. So it's awesome. They supported me my whole life, and they kind of see all the hard work come to fruition.
While his family is able to be there in person for the A's series against the Nationals and Orioles, Kurtz takes a piece of home with him everywhere he goes. The nickname given to him by his teammates in spring training, the Big Amish.
0-1 in the air to deep left. Houston, you do have a problem. His name is the Big Amish.
I think it's funny. I like it. It kind of represents Lancaster in a way, and I didn't think it'd ever get as big as it is now, but that's kind of what, I hear people yelling at me, Big Amish, from across the street and stuff, which is pretty funny, but I like it and just gonna keep going with it.
While Nick is not Amish, he leans into it, representing his hometown on a national stage.
You don't hear about a lot of people from Lancaster. Not many people even really know where it is, so it's kind of cool to be from a small town and kind of give everyone there someone to kind of root for, and I hope I'm representing Lancaster well.
Lauren Bradford, Fox 43.
Don't judge a book by its cover. You never really know what somebody's going through, what their struggles are, so always be willing to put out a helping hand.
That's the simple yet powerful message from a local chef competing to be the best in York County. How he hopes sharing his story of humble beginnings will inspire others to give back to the food bank that once helped him.
Four of York County's top culinary talents are set to face off in the Iron Chef competition. This annual event not only crowns the best of the best, but it also gives back to the York County Food Bank. And this week's On the Bright Side, I'll introduce you to one of the competing chefs who shares why his connection to the food pantry makes this battle about much more than just bragging rights. For some people, enjoying a hot meal on the holidays is a given. But for Windsor native Ryan Brown, growing up, those special meals were a gift.
I was raised by my single mom, and things were always tight. She was always trying her best. She was one of my favorite people, my hero, really. But often we needed help, and a lot of the time it would be the food bank or even the local churches donating from their pantries as well. And that's how we had holiday meals or even just meals through the summer.
Now as head chef of Windridge Farm, he's giving back to an organization that helped him. He's one of 4 people going head-to-head in the upcoming Iron Chef competition, with all proceeds going to the York County Food Bank.
Full circle, they took care of me as a kid, so the opportunity to be a part of this fundraising event to take care of my neighbors, it's just incredible.
Everything raised goes back into the food bank's Hunger Free York program, which shares healthy meals with community members in need.
I think people sometimes don't recognize that it is so prevalent. Unfortunately, here in York County, 1 in 10 people are going food insecure, and 1 in 7 children. So it's a big issue, and it's something that we want to bring attention to and make sure that we're really having an impact.
Part of the competition is having the chefs show that it's possible to turn everyday items into gourmet meals.
Because we want to show that these are common ingredients, that they're easy ingredients that almost everybody could, potentially have in their home, but yet they can make really delicious meals with them. You'd have to take a little bit of time, but the chefs are showing us that they can be elevated and you can do some really amazing things.
Chef Ryan showed off his culinary skills in the Fox 43 kitchen ahead of the event.
Now we're searing it, so this is what the process that goes right before putting it in the oven to finish it off.
But for him, the competition is about much more than bragging rights.
Oh man, I'd love to win. I have to just be honest. But my sous chef, my chef de partie, they're gonna be on the team with me. We're gonna be working side by side. Those are 2 guys who are very influential in my career. Even when I start to fall or falter, they're right there behind me. They have my back.
And he hopes sharing his story will help others realize just how common food insecurity really is.
Don't judge a book by its cover. You never really know what somebody's going through, what their struggles are, so always be willing to put out a helping hand.
This year's Iron Chef competition is happening Monday, August 25th at Windridge Farm in Dallastown. For more information on tickets, just head to fox43.com. As always, if you have a bright idea or something positive you'd like to share, send me an email at gmediac@fox43.com. On the bright side, I'm Gabrielle Mediac.
Well, Taylor Swift continues to break the internet. She dropped new details of her upcoming album on the New Heights podcast on Wednesday night. Swift's 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, will arrive on October 3rd with 12 new songs. The New Heights episode featuring Swift as well as Travis and Jason Kelce caused issues with YouTube. The premiere streamed live on YouTube with more than 1 million people tuning in at its peak. Towards the end of the stream, it crashed. The whole episode is available now wherever you listen to podcasts. The PA Renaissance Fair is back in Lancaster County. The fair runs every weekend from now through October 26th in Arapahoe Township with different themes each weekend. The fair also welcomes dogs with responsible owners. They just have to register their pup ahead of time. We have more information on the Ren Fair if you're looking to plan your visit by visiting right now on fox43.com. And that will do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us.